At some point, almost everyone starts to feel it. The strange sensation that life is moving forward without them. You open your phone. Someone bought a house. Someone got married. Someone launched a business. Someone is traveling the world. And somehow, your own life feels smaller, slower, incomplete. You begin to wonder whether you've made a mistake somewhere, whether you've taken too many wrong turns, whether everyone else received a map that you never got. But maybe the problem isn't your progress. Maybe it's the way you're measuring it. Because a clock can only tell time. It cannot tell you when a life is supposed to begin. And perhaps, you're not falling behind at all. Perhaps you're simply living on a different timeline. Most of us grow up believing that life follows a schedule. Graduate by this age. Find a career by that age. Get married around this age. Buy a home. Build a family. Achieve success. Step by step. Milestone by milestone. As if life were a race with invisible checkpoints. And somewhere along the way, we start comparing our progress to everyone else's. We look around and ask, why are they ahead of me? Why haven't I figured things out yet? Why am I still struggling with things they seem to have solved years ago? The more we compare, the more convinced we become that we're late. Late to success. Late to love. Late to purpose. Late to life itself. But the problem isn't that you're behind. The problem is that you've mistaken someone else's timeline for your own. Imagine two seeds planted in the same garden. One becomes a flower within weeks. The other remains buried beneath the soil. Days pass. Then months. The flower blooms. People admire it. Photograph it. Celebrate it. Meanwhile, the second seed appears to be doing nothing. From the outside, it seems like a failure. A mistake. A seed that never became what it was supposed to become. But underground, something else is happening. Roots are spreading. Slowly. Silently. Preparing for something that cannot yet be seen. One day, that second seed breaks through the surface. Not as a flower, but as an oak tree. And suddenly, the comparison makes no sense. Because the flower and the tree were never playing the same game. Yet this is exactly what we do to ourselves. We compare our chapter 3 to someone's chapter 20. We compare our beginning to someone else's breakthrough. We compare our confusion to their highlight reel. And then we conclude that we're behind. Social media has made this worse. For most of human history, you compared yourself to a handful of people. Today, you compare yourself to thousands. Every day. You measure yourself against strangers. Against lives whose struggles remain hidden. Against carefully edited highlights that reveal almost nothing of the full story. It's like watching the final scene of a movie and assuming the characters never suffered through the first 2 hours. You see success. But not uncertainty. You see confidence. But not fear. You see achievement. But not the years of failure that came before it. Gradually, a false narrative takes shape. Everyone else knows what they're doing. Everyone else has found their direction. And somehow, you're the only one still trying to catch up. But if you could look beneath the surface, you would discover something surprising. People are far less certain than they appear. Many are improvising. Trying to make sense of life one decision at a time. Just like you. The difference is that uncertainty is rarely visible. So we mistake invisibility for absence. There is a hidden assumption behind the fear of falling behind. The assumption that life has a universal timeline. That there is a correct age to become successful. A correct age to find purpose. A correct age to know who you are. But where did this timeline come from? Who created it? And why should it apply to everyone? Some people discover their path at 18. Others at 40. Some find love early. Others later. Some succeed young and struggle later. Some struggle young and succeed later. Life is not a factory assembly line. It is not designed for uniform outcomes. The oak tree does not apologize for growing more slowly than the flower. The moon does not compete with the sunrise. The stars do not rush to appear before darkness arrives. Everything unfolds according to its own nature. Human beings are no different. Growth follows its own rhythm. Some things take longer because they are becoming something larger. And not everything meaningful blooms on schedule. If you've been feeling left behind lately, pause for a moment. Ask yourself a simple question. Compared to whom? The answer is usually someone living a completely different life. Someone with different circumstances. Different goals. Different dreams. Different struggles. A person running a race you were never meant to run. The truth is that not everyone is moving toward the same destination. Which means not everyone should move at the same speed. You do not need to arrive when someone else arrives. You do not need to bloom when someone else blooms. You only need to continue becoming who you are meant to become. Because life is not a race against other people. It never was. And the reason you feel behind is that you've spent too much time looking sideways. Measuring your life against people who were never meant to be your benchmark. So tonight, stop asking whether you're ahead or behind. Ask only one question. Are you moving toward a life that feels true to you? Because that is the only comparison that matters. The stars above you are not competing with one another. Each follows its own orbit. Each arrives in its own time. And none of them are late.